Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator, where in the last episode we decided to take on the old Nah challenge here, and things were going great. That Mazda Miata was just laying waste to the unwanted there. However, we got to Apricot Raceway 2, and by complete and total fault of my own, a couple of really shitty driving tactics went backwards on me in 2 different races, and I ended up losing both of them. One of which I lost to a Peugeot 206, and the other one I lost to a Toyota MR2. Really unhappy about both of those because I should have won both of those races running away. And instead, we are now doing this for the 3rd time, and our win percentage has dipped down to 81%, and I view that as completely and wholly unacceptable. So we are now going to completely and utterly destroy these guys because it needs to happen. I'm not going to allow myself to lose for a 3rd time in a row. I mean, that would be like an ESPN stat that they'd pop up at some point. There we go. So, like, in the first race that I did here, it was just me, like, freaking out because I checked my rearview mirror and the guy wasn't there, and for some reason my body was just like, where'd he go? And I, went into the dirt, and that kind of fucked me over. And then, eventually I didn't have the top-end speed to put him away at the end. Second one, just that second lap, for whatever reason, I go into the 2 times that I barely got myself into the dirt, my car ended up going horizontal, and they were able to catch up. I held them off the first time. I was able to, use some strategic placement and, I kept myself in front. But that second time, after I reestablished my lead, that 206 just jumped out in front of me. And again, top end speed at the end could not save me. It was actually on this turn right here where he got away from me. I just, for some reason, going into that section, I always forget that I need to stay inwards on the track a little more. Like, I can't just, really ride that inside corner so much. I gotta go back towards the middle a little bit. And then if I do that, I should be able to just totally rape these guys. I mean, not like, rape as in me put my penis forcefully into an orifice on their body. More so, me taking the figurative penis of my car and forcefully, putting it into the tailpipe of theirs without their consent, which, would be kind of a weird thing to watch, actually. Watching a car penis go into, the non-sexual exhaust port of another, and then having to have them call a literal police car so that they may figure it out and have my Miata get thrown into car jail for, and then have to be, once it gets out, end up being registered in the Sexual Automobile Offenders of America, I suppose. And then, social suicide and workplace suicide and whatnot. It'd be all bad for the rest of forever. But he will know that even though he is now a registered automobile sex offender, he would be the one that won the Apricot Reverse Cup, or whatever the hell this thing's called again. Apricot Hill 2, for some reason. And then he'll always be able to sleep at night somehow. So I don't know how that one really got off the rails fast, I suppose. So I apologize, because that was probably a very awkward mental image to put in your head. See, look at that. Like, you drive clean, you win by a lot. I don't know why it took me 3 attempts at this to get it done, but it did, and so here we are. But we can now increase our win percentage back up to maybe 82%. I would like to think it would be somewhere in that area, and now we're fine. So there we go. 107,000 credits, and our prize car that is incoming. Make me feel good about that. What's it going to be? I have no idea. Could be any one of one things. A Del Sol? Oh, come on. Really? A Del Sol? Give me a break, man. Those things aren't very good. Am I gonna hold on to it though? Maybe. Because we might be able to use it here. Am I gonna use it though? I don't know. I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do. Stars and Stripes, huh? What would we use in here? What cars are permitted? Ooh, NSX, Camaros, Corvettes, Vipers, rally cars for some reason. Esperante, wow, okay. Interesting. I don't even know what car I would use in that. That seems like it might be a pretty tough one, actually. Four-wheel drive challenge, MR challenge, Turbo Tourist Trophy for the Audi might be an interesting choice. Which ones are permitted? Just the Quattro. I might do that. I mean, knowing that every car is going to be exactly the same, and the fact that there's 5 races in there, that seems like it could be a desirable thing to do. Let's check that out. Let's jump into that and see what it's going to be all about here. They're in here. So let's see. How much is an Audi Quattro? 46. Jesus. I'm almost positive that an Audi TT Quattro in real life is not $46,000. Give me a fucking break. Good lord. I mean, we're gonna do it. So, I mean, it's fine, but God, that is awful. That is a lot of quiche to throw out there. Yes, I want to buy a new TT Quattro, but could you possibly have a color available that is the same color of my jeans that I'm wearing right now? Because that color really gets me hard. I think we're going to go with that metallic silver. That looks clean. So let's do it. I will get inside of that. I really like Audis, man. They're like, I have my Volkswagen Jetta out there, and I had the Nissan Altima, and those were two cars design-wise that I really enjoyed. But had I not gotten either of those things, I think it is pretty safe to say that I probably would have gone after getting an Audi. Like, I love the body style of them. They're so good looking. Do I go 4,800 for 238, or do I take 2,900 for 234? I think we do this. Then we probably get, I would assume, one of these. Probably one of these as well. Do we do 1,800 for 243, or do we do 3,000 for... Yep, we do that one. No brainer there. And then 13,000 for 291. Oh boy. I think we go here. I think that seems like the fairly obvious choice. Okay, that should give us everything that we need in order to, to take this one down nice and comfortably. So let's jump in. Really? Really, Chris? Really? Right now has got to be the moment. Right now has to be the moment that you got to bust out the fucking thing to prune your bushes in the backyard or whatever. I mean, I guess I can't blame her for it. I mean, she doesn't know that I'm in here filming right now. Even though if she looked over her fence, she could totally fucking see it. It's just, it's the inconsideracy, or whatever word it would be there. Ugh, it's so loud. So, yeah, if you guys can hear her lawn care tools just making the loudest recorded noise ever spawned in this world, I do apologize. Alright, here we go on the Rome circuit. Oh, I gotta tell you guys about this. I'm so happy that I remembered this. Because this is a story that I'm not 100%... I'm not 100% positive if it's true or not, because, with the whole age of, fake news and whatever, you never really know what to believe anymore. But I saw this tweeted out. I think it was I saw it on iFunny this morning, but it was something that was posted by Gizmodo. Boy, we're gonna kill these guys. Well, maybe we may not kill them, but we should be able to win this. Just based off of how we jumped out at an early lead with that, really leads me to believe that this shouldn't be a wildly difficult challenge at all. I saw this thing posted, and man, just the concept, even if it's fake, just the notion of thinking about envisioning that alone is so funny to me. So it's a woman, I think she was like in her 60s, living, you know, somewhere in a place where tornadoes are prevalent, so probably, you know, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, kind of that whole tornado alley area. This article, the headline of this article says something to the extent of lady flies through tornado in her bathtub, lands in woods, completely unharmed. Like, imagine that. How crazy would that be to be, you know, to be like in your house, you know, looking, you know, like looking out your window as a tornado comes roaring through, and just, you know, you can barely see it, but there's a lady just in this swirling torrent of just high mileage wind and destruction, just sitting there totally naked, you know, in her bathtub with her shower cap on and her extremely long wood brush with the high density bristles or whatever, just like sitting there just fucking like losing her shit. And that thing just gets thrown into the woods, and somehow she lands in the woods in this bathtub. The impact of landing doesn't totally shatter that bathtub and, you know, probably her plastic hip and every other bone in her body because she's in her mid-60s or whatever. And somehow she comes out of that completely unharmed. Like, how does that even happen? Like, you get sucked into a tornado and it throws you into the woods. There's no, like, an older person, unless it be by the grace of God himself, you would not survive that. Like, even if you were 40 years younger, you probably wouldn't survive it. Just, like, the force of the fall would probably, like, break your spine unless you landed in just, like, this magical, you know, magical forest jelly that can break any known fall from any height imaginable. Just a whole thing, just the concept of that alone made me laugh so hard this morning when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck, man? And it is for that reason why I will probably never, ever in my entire life move to the Midwest for any reason. I mean, hey, Texas may have the number 5 economy in the entire world as a single state, but you know what? Just the idea that there's the possibility of tornadoes and you know, it being in the 90s all the goddamn time, which, you know, I do like it during the summer, but all year round, give me a break, man. I would much rather, you know, have 3 months of summer, probably potentially 9 months of rain, even though we don't always get it, and then give me some snow. Like, let me experience all the seasons here in Oregon. And I do, and I love it. I love having overcast days and not, you know, not constantly. Like, if you had somebody from Texas coming here and you had to deal with, and they had to deal with one of the nights that, you know, we dealt with where it was like 15 degrees, they probably would have thought that their entire world was ending around their, you know, in front of their very eyes. Because, like, for them, if it's like 60 degrees, they're like, oh my god, it's so cold. At least that's what you know. That's what I've heard. I know a few people that have lived in that area, you know, where it's hot all the time, and you know, when it's in like the 60s, you got people that are wearing like coats and shit out there. Where if it was 60 here, man, I'd be wearing like basketball shorts and like a wife beater. I'd be living the high life with that. But instead, they're like, brr, it's freezing out here. How do you do it? It's like, how do you live in temperatures where it's close to 100 like every day of your life? Like, I don't know how people do Arizona. Like, I know it's a dry heat, but just the idea of it having days where it's like 110 outside, just fuck every single ounce and drop of that. I mean, they say, what is it, Maxwell House is good to the last drop? No, it's not. Not if that Maxwell House is in Arizona with that heat. Forget that shit. So I ain't taking any of it. Back to Laguna Seca, man. I love this track. I really do. I really do. Is it a nuisance sometimes when we're driving cars that are, you know, really poor in the handling department? Yes, it is. But I love it. I love, you know, like the technical aspect of it. As much as I have said that I loathe and despise the very nature of this crazy-ass hairpin turn up here, it doesn't detract from the idea that I do still love this course. Like, I would love just to be able to drive on this course, even just in my regular car. Like, that would be something that I'd love to do on every single one of these, provided that they're all real. Like, I know Laguna Seca is real. I don't know about all the rest of them necessarily. But I'd love to take my car out there and just, you know, just drive around it. Like, not going 90 miles an hour or whatever, but just to experience it just, you know, just at a base level, you know, and be like, oh man, I remember taking all these turns before, you know, in this game, and you're like, oh, so that's what the angle really is like. Like, you really do have to take it that way. You know, I would love to do that. I would really love to do that. Or, you know, on the other side of the coin, I would love to be able to sit in the passenger seat with like a professional racer that does courses like these, and actually be able to sit in the car and really, you know, really get that full-on experience of what it really is like to drive these courses with like a real race car, and be taking these things at, you know, speeds unforeseen, you know, like they do. I think that would also be just as cool. But I really would love, just for the sake of my own life, get to drive my own car through here, just for the sake of doing it. Even if I only get to do one lap, just to, you know, be able to say that I have indeed done it, you know, and then get the t-shirt at the end. I drove Laguna Seca, and all I got was this shitty t-shirt? Ah! I'd love it. I really would. I would adore every ounce of that. We're holding them off pretty well here. Very, very happy that I did spend the extra money on that Stage 2 turbo upgrade instead of the 1. Probably still could have won all these races with the 1. But I do love the comfort factor of knowing that we're probably going to get through this thing much, much easier with the 2. And, you know, we're going to build up. We're going to have to kind of rebuild our cash flow again. And that's okay. I'm not, you know, super worried about that. You know, if worse comes to worse, if we have enough money to buy another vehicle to get ourselves ready for another endurance race to, you know, increase our reserves again, and we'll have to do that. Who knows? Because I think that there's at least one other endurance race that we can do that doesn't involve having to completely max out a vehicle to have a chance at survival in it. And I think it's actually like I think it might be one of I think it's like the Seattle one. It's like the Seattle 150 miles joint or whatever. I think that's the one that you don't need to have like a full-on racing car for it. I'll have to look at it just to make sure, but I think that was the other one in which that becomes a reality. So, all right, my friends. Well, I think that we're gonna stop right here. I think this would be a pretty good place to save. I mean, there's still 3 more races left in this challenge, so when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, we're going to take on those extra 3 races, and we're hopefully going to win them all nice and comfortably. We'll get our prize vehicle out of it, which I'm sure will be something that we can sell right away and make some easy cash, and get ourselves kind of back towards that $75,000 to $80,000 range, and then we'll kind of move on to another thing. But I think what I'm going to do, my friends, is I'm going to go to the gym again, because now that I'm healthy, really enjoying being able to go back and work out. Unfortunately, it's going to be fucking leg day, so ugh, that's going to be probably one of the worst things that's ever happened in my entire life. And then after that, I think that I will celebrate by going down to the Coin Jam and playing some arcade games, and maybe having a little something to eat down there. So, with that said, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. It helps me out an enormous deal. And if you're interested in watching more videos in the future, do hit that subscribe button, because I'm posting these as often as humanly possible, as we're going to be doing this for a long time. And we're staring 170 to 180 videos right square in the face. So stick around for the journey, my friends. I'll see you next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.